Hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. So, with the daily entourage of videos showing everybody making millions of dollars, I figured I need to join the bandwagon. I feel like I've inspired this somewhat, but it's become like a circular reference, I guess, with everybody doing it. So, I need to at least continue. So, let's go over where the portfolio is for the year so far and review the current open options trades and the year to date gains. And it's actually going very well. So let's get right into it. Um, so this year has exceeded my wildest dreams. Honestly, it's exceeded my own expectations. And I was just listening to another interview with another younger finance professional, and I could relate to a lot of the same things that he was saying. Um, you don't feel like you're really here, even though it's happening. It's like, I guess, imposter syndrome. You don't quite it doesn't quite feel real, even though it's becoming real. It doesn't quite feel real. So let me start off with this. Let me make it nice and big. There we go. Fill most of the screen. Okay, so we're still starting out with the dividend income. We've hit 30,000 for the year. Right now, we're not fully through July, so I actually project this will be closer to 60,000. I think some of our dividends are going to be higher in the second half of 2025. But I did this monthly and then I annualized it. And then my option income is broken into my Fidelity account and my Schwab account, both of which I'll review in this video. But so far, year to date, we've made, and this is just mind boggling, we've made $82,352.15 in the Fidelity accounts, which are my rolled over 401ks. Well, one 401k broken into a Roth portion and a traditional portion. So that's inside the 401k, so I can't really touch that money, but I do have plans for it. For like business stuff down the road. So if I make this monthly, this is almost 12,000 a month. And keep in mind the really cool thing about this account, I just rolled this account over. So this 82,000 has come since basically May 19th. So this is like 2 months really. Um, and a lot of this came like in the last couple of weeks, really. So anyway, monthly would be almost 12,000, and then annualized, this would be a decent full year salary. And then my Schwab account, um, is 126,722.42 realized year to date. And I'll show you all real quick to fact check because this is just a spreadsheet. But these numbers you're going to see match identically. If you put in your accounting mindsets, your thinking caps, the numbers here match identically. This is my broker that I'm logged on to here, Schwab. You see the net gain 126,722.42 matches identically with what I am showing in the spreadsheet here. So these aren't just numbers I'm pulling out of a hat like a magician. The next one, we're going to go over here. And this one, honestly, folks, I'm not doing this to brag, but I feel less and less weird about it because I see videos on YouTube just getting flooded with everybody talking about like how great they are and stuff. So I'm feeling less and less weird about it. I'm feeling like I've got to keep up at this point. Sometimes I watch people, and despite what I've done, I feel like a bum. So I've never had an account that's surpassed 600,000, which part of me still can't believe I'm saying that, but the other part of me sees how much better others are doing, and I kind of still feel like a bum. So this is where we are with this one. The closed positions, and both of them, you'll see this number matches identically with what the spreadsheet shows. So if we go over here, back to the spreadsheet. Welcome, Piper, and we've got Pirate Justin on. Welcome to both of you. And I teach you all how to do this too. This isn't just something that I sit here, on behind the throne and be like, oh, look at this. No, I'm teaching you all how to do this too. I want to see people become financially independent. Okay, so back to the spreadsheet. So I just wanted you all to see numbers are real. They're just not, pulled out of a hat. This one, the Schwab account, if I was to make it monthly, 18,000, annualized 217. If I summate these three, this is money that has already been made this year. This is mind blowing because it's running leaps and bounds over my job income. So 237, 074, 65 monthly, and then annualized, this would be 409. I've never even scratched this amount. But what's even cooler is that of all the open trades we have open right now between the two brokers, Fidelity, I have 102,500 in open trades, and Schwab, I have 121,170. So between these two, these open trades right now, we could really sweeten this pot. This could actually add another 224,000, and this isn't even counting the MSTU trades that just exercised on me yesterday. So the open trades I have, I've gotten a little greedy. I rolled out. First, I had AMDL $10 puts. I rolled them out, collected about 14,000 there. NVDL, I've rolled up to $85, collected another 37,500 in premium there. And the way these work, folks, this is premium I'm actually not going to lose. I have the collateral. You saw I have 607,000 in those accounts, at the Fidelity accounts. I have the collateral to be fully exercised on these if need be. So all that's going to happen is that, and I'm going to do this in this column over here. So for AMDL, if I get exercised at $11, I should have put the number of contracts. Let's see, let me go over here. So AMDL number of contracts, um, I want to say I did 50. I'm at closed position. Let me go back to overview real quick. So for AMDL, yes, I did 50. So watch what we do here. This is how I'm going to explain to you all how the wheel strategy works. Because some of you say, "Oh, you're just sitting here bragging." Trust me. Watch some of these other videos. You ain't seen nothing yet. Um, all right. So divide by 50. Um, that's wrong. But what this is doing, let me see here. B8 divided by 50. I don't want the dollar amount. All right, so per contract, watch this. So 50 contracts, okay, controls 50,000 shares. So this is what we would possibly, this is the risk of what we would get assigned on AMDL. Yes, I'm taking big risks because it's a big account. Like I said, I've never been in this position in my life. Okay, so one contract, this is the point I'm trying to make here. So divide by 50. So one contract which controls 100 shares, divide by 100, okay? This is basically this is the key to the wheel strategy here. Okay, this is what's so important because some of you sit here and say different things that are really conjecture or they're really just flat out wrong. You have to change your mindset. You sit here and say, "Oh, but you're so far out of the money. $11 puts, that's so far out of the money." But not exactly, because if you count your premium, the premium, you have collected $2.80 of the potential $11 that you would be getting assigned. So if you take $11 minus 280, you get a big fat error, of course, but that's because I was using dollars. So if you do 11 minus 280, and you know what infuriates me? I know I don't have a sophisticated operation here. I know some other channel's gonna do this in a fancier way, and they'll get probably 50,000 times the views or whatever. But it's stressing me out a little bit. But I've got to just take a deep breath and just not feel so competitive, I guess. I got to just be happy with where I am. But just know, no matter how good you do in life, there's always somebody better. Anyway, where am I going with that rant? Personally, I've been trying to train myself not to think what I have not enough. No, I agree that you can get in a capitalist society, you can get sucked into that trap very easily. I have no time. I'm too dumb. No, I'm gonna stop you there. You're not too dumb. Okay, I know blue collar workers that knew nothing about markets that are doing just as good, if not better. So you're not too dumb, trust me. Plumbers can do it, electricians can do it, pipe fitters can do it, window installers can do it. So no. So you just buy funds like Misty. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to correct you there. Anybody can trade options. Um, okay, so the point I'm making here, you're actually buying this at $8.20. So the premium, you never truly lose the premium. So if you were to get assigned at $11, it seems like that's a big hold on here. It seems like that's a really big risk, right? I'm sorry. This is 5,000, not 50,000. Okay, so 5,000. Bear with me here. So this would be 55,000 that you would be risking getting assigned. But in reality, you're getting assigned at $8.20, right? So it's really $8.20 times 55, or excuse me, 5,000 shares. So the difference between column F and column G should be the premium. So column F, column G. Now I got to be honest with you all. I got to level with you all. This is not a 10-cent ulti dividend. So I get it. This won't get thousands of views because I'm not telling you the 10-cent ulti dividend. A lot of you like that 10-cent dividend better than 465,000 an option premium, because your mind, this is where you have to change the mindset, because your mind just shuts off immediately. It's like, oh no, I want them to do it for me. No, with them doing it for you is what got you to where you are right now, is what you have to realize. Okay, to be wealthy, it's a mindset. It's not just like, I can't tell you how many people tell me that, oh, I just don't want to think about money. The paradox is, to get good to get to a point where you don't have to think about money, guess what you have to do? You have to get good at thinking about money. Letting someone else do it for you. I mean, you can learn this, but you got to just learn it yourself for the most part. At least those are the notes I got. Okay, so yeah, so this should match this. So see this 13,000 minus a commission, because they take lofty commissions on these options trades. So basically, yeah, 14,000. So do you see what I'm saying here? Instead of getting assigned at 55,000, you're only getting assigned at 41,000. So, and it's the same with all of these trades. So that's 14,000 for AMDL. That's why I do them out of the money. I do them out of the money. My strategy, basically, and people pay me for this. People pay me $100 an hour for this, which I think is cheap. Um, the strategy is to go out of the money and to go out a few months, because you're getting time value and you're getting out of the money premium. So the strategy is about harvesting premium. I used to buy options and wait for the gain. A lot of those I would blow those up, they would go to zero. But one or two trades could pay for 10 losses basically. I still do that sometimes, but not as much as this, because this way on leveraged ETFs, I'm collecting the premium. So with NVDL, $85, see what I'm doing? I'm going further out as the funds increase in value. I'm going further out. Now, at some point, it's going to be like, in Greek mythology, the story of Icarus getting too close to the sun and the wings melt. We don't want that to happen, but inevitably, the market's not a straight line up. There's a lot of fluctuation there, but so far so good. I believe we're in a bull market. We've got a lot of good macroeconomic indicators. Tax cuts just got extended. I think we'll have a new Fed chairman soon. We're going to have interest rates getting cut. So all things are looking up basically. So I think these are reasonable, as far as these are achievable premiums. And what you have to realize is that I keep these no matter what, unless I buy these trades back, which I tend to do. I tend to buy these back. And if I'm up, say I've realized 50% of this, okay, 50% of this is like 51,000. I'll take that. So I'll buy it back and lock in 51,000 and then roll out even further. That's why this strategy has made me so much money this year. So NVDL, 37,500, SMCX, I've gone to 60, 31,186, SOXL, 32, 8,883, and these are minus commissions. SMCX, $60. Now you see SMCX here twice, because one is in the Roth portion of this, one is in the traditional IRA. So my Fidelity and my Schwab account, believe it or not, I started my Roth IRA as a little bit of a story, a little bit of a saga here. So I started the Roth IRA in my 401k. And then I stopped doing it there. I decided that I wanted to max out my 401k, my contributions, and then I decided that I wanted to do the Roth IRA separately. So I had part one of the Roth in the 401k originally, and then part two I started on my own. That's why you'll see Roth IRA twice. So in my Schwab account, here's the thing. So the Schwab account, because it's not technically a professionally managed account, I'm still subject to pre-clearance rules, which are really annoying. So I haven't rolled these trades out. So I'm way in the money on a lot of these trades here. So as you'll see, there's a lot of meat off the bone that I've realized. If I locked these in right now, I could, like this, lock in another 35,000. If I wanted to look good for you all and pad my stats, so to speak, I could add right now another 35,000 to this total, which would put me close to 300,000, which is truly just mind boggling. So anyway, SMCX $53, 33,687 if we round up, and then $58. So here's the beauty of the strategy. What I want to show you all, and I'll actually go into the account and show you. I added to the account, and this is because I got assigned on these before. And I'll go ahead and just show you all everything. I don't care. I lost 7 grand Friday, but look at this 2-year change. This 2-year change is amazing. But I'll go ahead and show you all, the stuff I'm holding the bag on, like Tesla and all that. Now, some of these, the final number that I reveal to you all is actually higher because of MSTU and so on. Wow, we got a lot of action in the chat here, don't we? For the AMDL 11 put, how much would you get assigned? I showed you that already. Oh, Mr. Realtor, use the premiums to buy shares of but why? I mean, that's true. Wow, this account fluctuates a lot. So my gain and loss, I was a positive 7,000 Friday. That's how fast that fluctuated. Um, find your ride with dividends. How far do you usually go out to avoid assignment? I'm not really worried about avoiding assignment. If I get assigned, I get assigned because in the market we're in, if I get assigned, and I'm going to show you, I already have been assigned. This is the purpose of pulling up this tab here. So look down here. This is why, and MSTU fluctuates so much. I was almost at break even on MSTU. But what I want to show you all here, SMCX, I was assigned, you see? And I'm still down a little bit, but I was assigned 800 contracts. So when this got basically in the money here, I went ahead and went out to December and I did covered calls, and I've made another 3,700 on these. This is the beauty of the wheel strategy. So if I get called out of this at $58, I automatically make another 16,234.69. So that's the beauty of the strategy. And at this point, I'm ignoring what it tells me for total gains and losses because this doesn't matter. I'm churning through options so much. I've basically doubled this account. Okay. You see the number I showed you at the top, right? And if you look down here, the bottom 3 trades, basically look at SMCX. I've made 11,000 of the 33,000 I showed you there. I made 11,000 of it already. Realized that like Monday morning, I could buy this back. Boom, lock that in. Same with NVDL, 12,955. I could buy that back. Boom, lock it in, right? So that's to back up what we see on the spreadsheet here. So that's the beauty of that those covered calls there. So AMDL, I'm doing the same trades in both accounts basically. So AMDL, I opened up $11 puts. You'll notice I got a little bit better fill price here, 14,116.81 than I got over here in sell B8. So sell B17, I got a better fill price. NVDL, I just showed you that one. I'm at $80 there. I've realized 13,000 of that. Palantir, the PTIR fund, I went at 23, 6,000. And I think I just showed you all, I'm already up in that one. I've already made 1,500 of the 6,000. So that's a 25% gain. I'm telling you, folks, this is valuable stuff. Most people charge big bucks for this stuff. And then MSTU, this is in my Roth over here. MSTU is a $13 call. So I had to go because I got assigned. I was doing these way out of the money early in the year. So I got assigned. And then, so basically, without risking losing the shares at a loss, I had to do covered calls at this price. And then I did some SMCX here at 57, NVDL at 80, the puts. So, folks, that's another 224,000 that I could realize on top of what I've already showed you. So the grand total between Fidelity and Schwab, these two, I just showed you that number. And then if I add that number to what I've already made, which is these two up here, I'm not counting the dividends because dividend income is separate. I'm still making what I consider a full-time dividend income up there. But basically, if you take cell B3 and B4, before and after, Fidelity and Schwab, the grand total for the year, if I add all the open trades I have right now, would be 432,728.82. And then there's some other trades on top of it. Let's see. Wow, we got you all lively now. Let's see. What else? My current holding, stocks, ETFs, crypto, and cash is around 288. Wow, you need to super chat coach then. Just kidding. Was over 400,000 at crypto highs. Ooh, so you burned 112,000 on crypto. Goal is 1 million. Yeah. Um, By the way, I'm not actually going to speak this into words, but I'll let you all draw some conclusions here. You see one account I've shown is 607,000. The other account is combined. Hold on a second here. Let's see. Yeah, so 607,000 combined. So it's a health savings account at the bottom that I have in Fidelity. So 607,000. I can't even believe I'm declaring this right now. But if you add 481,000 to 607,000, that should tell you something about Coach's net worth, I guess, which I can't believe I'm sharing, honestly. Anyway, okay, so let's go back here to the spreadsheet. Tab. Okay, read some more comments real quick. Let's see, greetings. I go out 1 to 3 weeks so I can roll more and collect more premium monthly. So Mr. Realtor here, I think I've taught him a lot of what he knows about options. So I know he's appreciative some way or another in there. I say some of this jokingly, but a lot of people that I teach how to trade, it's funny because they'll pass off the knowledge as there and they'll be like, "Wow, look at what I'm doing," and that's fine. Like I'm not gonna call you out too much, but I will joke about it. Let's see, Circle, MicroStrategy, Coinbase, and Tesla have sweet premiums. What do you mean by rolling? Do you have to wait until the put expires? No, you can basically roll anytime. Coach, can you share how much you would pay on 100,000 you make with options? How much I would pay, like, in commissions? I don't really care, it's immaterial to me. It's what I call a transaction cost. How much would you pay on 100,000 you make with options? I don't understand the question. You'll have to reframe the question for me. Uh, what time do you need up tomorrow? Oh god, tax is my favorite subject. Well, here you go right here. That's a good question. Based on the tax bracket I'm in, it's probably a good assumption that I'll pay. You had to just kinda shit on the parade there, didn't you? Um, yeah, it's not gonna be fun, but you know what? I'll make more to offset it, but the IRS is gonna love me. They are definitely gonna love me. So that's another benefit of, this strategy is that you get to pay more taxes than you've ever paid, and honestly, the last 3 years in a row, the taxes have gotten higher and higher and higher. It's ridiculous, folks. Property tax, income tax, dividend tax. Luckily, the dividend portion, which I'm not even counting, luckily, the dividend portion is a lot of return of capital. I mean, what time do you need to leave the house for my interview? I usually do all my interviews virtually. Well, that's the thing. Luckily, we have no state income tax here, right? Okay, let me show you all the trades because it's a weekend, so they just went into effect, or they didn't count. I got assigned on a couple of these. I don't think it's going to show, but I guess I have to go to transactions. Well, that's what I just did. Anyway, so there's about another 10 grand from MSTU that's in the ether right now because the records haven't updated. Um, but I got assigned. I got assigned on MSTU. So basically, the trade that I had open that I closed earlier, I'm pairing up my MSTU position because I am down in it. It fluctuates so much. I was basically break even a couple days ago. Now I'm down like 10,000 again. But let's see here. So I have about 2,800 shares of MSTU. Oh wait, I already am assigned on it. Okay, well, here's a good math problem to do. So now I actually it is showing exactly what I thought. Some of you all may call this like a downside of the strategy. I personally don't see it that way. Let me go ahead and view transactions on this one. All right, so because of this one, here's my transactions on MSTU. Okay, I bought to close calls. That was a dumb trade. I could have realized them all because who knew it was going to fluctuate so much yesterday. It's not showing the assignment though. All right, see this here from June 9th, sell to open, 10,378.76. So this was a win actually because MSTU, let me go back to the spreadsheet here. So I collected 10,378.6, right? So let's look at MSTU real quick. All right, let's do this. 10,378.76. Okay, so that was on 3,200 shares basically. So that means $3.24. So while it looks bad from a cost basis standpoint, it's actually like I showed above. It's actually $11, which is the assignment price, minus 324. So that's I'm owning it actually for 776, which is phenomenal. So all this premium I kept. So I could add this premium basically to this total here. So by the time it's all said and done, I could end up at like a $500,000 per year option income. Now, if I could sustain that every year, I will absolutely retire. But right now, I'm kind of experiencing that where it's like, is this really real? So, I'm staying working for the time being. Because I mean, the thing is, this is just 1 year. I don't know that I'm going to do this every year. I think I will because I think I'll only get better at this. But, you know, I got to check myself here to make sure this is actually real. So, of the trades open, so adding the trades open to the current option income, basically, what we've realized, it's actually 209,000 for the year that we've realized in option income. So there we go, folks. There's my round of, if you want to call it bragging. I don't see it that way. I'm just trying to show you all so that you all can learn this too. Anyway, I think that's going to do it for us. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Oh, and as bonus content, let me do this really quick. So Mr. Piper, who only made one comment and ran away, um, he ran away, but don't let him fool you because he's a very, very pro options trader. He's probably one of the best in the business, and I'm lucky to have him as a fan of my channel. He's taught me some things. So next thing I'm going to look into doing, and I tried to be even riskier Friday, but the trade didn't go through. So I'm going to show you all as bonus content real quick. Let's see. IRS tried to threaten me in 2022 for crypto income they thought I earned. Yeah, believe it or not, that's awesome, and, my hat's off to you. I've actually fought the IRS and won as well. I've had some just petty, petty crap with the IRS. One time, they came after me for, like, $200, which I think that you gotta be careful what you share with people. Sometimes, of course, here I am, with a following of almost 7,500, sharing to the world my trades and sitting here and saying, "Be careful what you share to people," right? But I think some piece of crap at a party or something must have overheard me say something. My first mortgage that I had basically with Chase Bank, they dumped my mortgage to another lender. So it was kind of a smart move on my part. I went and I said, "Hey, what's this? You involuntarily dumped me." Well, they had a cashback program of 5% for the life of the mortgage, but they dumped me. So I'm like, "Well, what happens to this?" They said, "Oh, we have to give it to you. Legally, we're obligated to give it to you." So I forgot to claim that. The IRS came after that. And then all of a sudden, after that, they started coming into other years, and it's like a freaking vacuum in the room trying to like suck up the one piece of hair in the corner of the room. So they go, "Oh, well, actually, you owe us another like 100 from this year. You owe us another 200." And I felt like they were just harassing me, really. And I was pissed. I wrote a strongly worded letter and I said, "You know what? Like, you guys are harassing me. Leave me alone. Go after the people that owe you like millions or hundreds of thousands in taxes." I think the letter literally said, "I hope the $200 I sent you today helps to make a dent in the national debt." Those were my words. I was super pissed. But needless to say, and I don't brag about that, but you could say they left me alone. I'm not going to sit here and say I've beaten the IRS, but um, they left me alone. So anyway, with that being said, hopefully none of that happens anymore. Let's see, Word, it was like 27K. They thought, "Oh, wrote them letters too with transaction details." Yeah, once you keep records, they can't argue with records. So, like, keep your records. That's pretty much what I do. I'm like an accountant when it comes to my records, so I pretty much know where every penny goes. But anyway, as bonus content, I want to show you all what I'm probably going to start doing in the future. And this is actually something Piper showed me. So all right, if we go here, say NVDL, for example, he was talking about basically a bull put spread, I believe. So if I sell to open, and believe it or not, I could actually do like 200 of these. Watch this. This is going to blow your minds. If I go out like a month to like August 22nd, sell basically at the money, right? And then add a leg where I buy to open the same trade and I go $5 out. This is a bull put spread basically. So what you're doing, you're trying to fill at the mid. Oh, excuse me. Um, let's see here. I think this moved on me a lot. Um, Oh, no, it's not a it's a call, it's a put, not a call. Okay, here we go. So basically on this trade, because things fluctuated a lot, I would collect 33,000. When I had this trade pending Friday, I would have collected like 45,000. So things fluctuated. There we go. So we'll have to go out basically another week. So 48,000, you could basically do this every month. And then if you had enough collateral for this, that would be 166,000. So it all depends on how much you have in the account, but to reduce your collateral that you need, you could do this trade called the bull put spread. So there you have it. You are selling to open and then buying to open at different strikes. See? So, and then you could collect up to 48,000. Anyway, folks, let's see here. Are you kidding me? It's not black right now. Because look, I'm looking right at it. I'm looking at the screen share. We want bonus strategy back. I see a green screen. How long was it black? That's funny. Um, well, yeah, because I'm looking right at it. But this is something I've been dealing with the YouTube direct going live directly, and it's annoying. It pauses. YouTube is a tough business. I have to tell you, it's frustrating. I just got back from New York a week ago. I met YouTubers that are like just blowing my doors in as far as content. Like I'm average. I get it. I need to be better, but it's like there are content creators out there that are like just, let's just say I wish I could put more time into this. I'm trying not to like stress myself out about the competitive nature of it, but it's like I'm telling you, like as good as you think you are, there's still people that just absolutely blow your doors in. Anyway, folks, let's try to be positive, and you know what? Things are going well, and hopefully we can all continue to make some good money. So thank you all for tuning in. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and join the Discord. And we will see you all in the next one. Take care. Bye.